Habibi, welcome to Saudi Pro League Central. And wow, what a game. I think a game, however, Al Nassr will rule at least for the next 12 months as it reminds me, it reminds me of when you were a kid and your parents wouldn't let you out to play with the rest of the kids. That's how Al Nassr fans are going to be feeling for the next 12 months when their rivals are going to be playing in the Champions League, because today's game absolutely disappointing, hugely disappointing for Al Nassr, um, because although they did get off to a flying start and they did get off to a good start there, courtesy of a courtesy of that early goal. Well, not even early, really, but courtesy of that goal by Otavio. Fantastic crossing from Abdul Majid. Excuse me. Fantastic. They usually come in twos like the buses, my sneezes. So do forgive me if you see another one. But yeah, Abdul Majid Al Sulayhim, fantastic crossing into the box. And it was beautifully met by Otavio. His first goal of, I think, this season, which goes to show that there are so many fantastic players. Al Nassr were relying on the likes of Otavio to get them over the line, but unfortunately, they haven't been able to. Excuse me, they haven't been able to do so. Otavio crushing leaps up. I don't know if he's been doing some Mike Tyson neck muscle exercises, because that header was ferocious into the back of the net, top corner, goalkeeper stranded, and couldn't really get into stopping that at all. Now, then you think, okay, Al Nassr need to take control of the game, and they did it in a little bit of a way, but at the same time, they were not able to completely get hold of the game. They had a few other chances, and they kept missing those chances. And you know what? During commentary, the commentators did say, "Will Al Nassr rue these opportunities and these chances?" Because if Al Taawoun, although it looks unlikely at that time, if Al Taawoun go on the other end and equalize, it could look an entirely different game, and it could ruin the entirety of their season. And that's exactly what happened. On the 51st minute is when Otavio scored. On the 70th minute, Mohamed Mahzari managed to find the Colombian striker for Al Taawoun in Martinez. Martinez, beast of a player, put that in the back of the net. 1-1. Oh my goodness. And then from there on, Al Nassr huffed, Al Nassr puffed, Al Nassr tried to blow Al Taawoun's house down, but the only thing they were able to blow a incredible lead. I think Al Nassr, in terms of the firepower, I'm not really too worried. I think next season Al Nassr need to heavily focus on the defense. I know they were trying their utmost best to try and lure Virgil van Dijk into the Saudi Pro League, but they need a Virgil van Dijk-esque caliber of a defender, because last game they blew a 2-0 lead against Ittihad. Benzema's Ittihad coming from behind in order to be able to win against Al Nassr last week. And then they went on to win 9-0. And you think, okay, maybe they've shored up the defense. But hey, this is the Saudi Pro League, where teams do not respect anybody, really. They believe they can go toe-to-toe, and they believe they can outlast anybody and outshine anybody. So next season, I think Al Nassr definitely need to put a huge emphasis on trying to shore up their defense, because having blown a lead last week, they blew a lead again today, and today's lead that was blown has just cost them the Champions League for next year. Al Nassr have just drawn 1-1 against Al Taawoun at home. Who's to blame now? No, there's no Ronaldo to blame. There's no Laporte to blame. So who is to blame? It's really sad, because now what it means is that because Etihad have won the league, they're going to qualify for the Champions League automatically. And then Hilal, with 2 games to go and a 7-goal deficit, are also qualified essentially for the Champions League for next year. And then that 3rd place, which means that you usually have to qualifying games in order to get to the Champions League spots for next year. That's what Al Nassr were hoping for. But Al Hilal have already won the Champions League, so guess what? They're automatically qualified. Al Hilal have to play the qualifying games. So yeah, I mean, really, really sad for Al Nassr. Really, really sad for Ronaldo. I say sad for Ronaldo because it feels like, if they had won something this year, then Ronaldo would have stayed. But I don't think Ronaldo is going to stay somewhere where they haven't won the league, they haven't won the Champions League, and they haven't even qualified for the Champions League for next year. So it's sad, it's scary times for the Saudi Pro League and Al Nassr, because the GOAT, Ronaldo, will he stay? Will he go? We don't know. We don't know. But I think today, when you're building a team and you're trying to, build an absolutely dominant team that's going to win it all, the best you can do as the manager or the director of the sports director is, put together and assemble a team that you believe can go out there and absolutely smash it for you. Now, when you have a manager in Stefano Pioli, the 59-year-old Italian, who is really, really experienced, and then you give him the likes of John Duran, the likes of Wesley, Angelo, Mane, Ronaldo, Brozovic, Otavio, Yahya. Bloody hell, that's a very good team. And it's the type of team that, you would trust to go out there and do a job week in, week out. And I think in the midst of all of this, I think I want to give the biggest shout out to, Al Nassr's medical team, because they have been quite successful in keeping most of the Al Nassr players, in shape and fit and playing each week. To be able to keep a 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo fit every single game is incredible. But from there on, you just need the players to gel. You need the players to play together. Now, when you've got Sadio Mane on one side and you've got Otavio on the other side, you've got Brozovic feeding you with Ronaldo and John Duran up top. Any sporting director who has that kind of team in the Saudi Pro League is probably thinking, this is a team that is going to be able to withstand anything and also be able to deliver for us. Because delivery is key. And Al Nassr, I don't know what's got into them. Especially John Duran. Since he's come in, there was maybe 1 or 2 games where he's performed well. But outside of that, I understand he's a young Colombian boy who has been playing in Europe for the last 3-4 years, maybe. But the insane goals he was scoring in the Premier League, I think Al Nassr fans and Al Nassr management, Al Nassr players were hoping that if he was able to get, if they were able to get 10% of the type of man that he is and the type of goals that he was scoring in the Saudi Pro League, in the Premier League, and he was able to transmit that into the Saudi Pro, I think everybody would have been in a position to feel as though they have a huge chance to win it all, really. So unfortunately, super disappointing for Al Nassr. They are not going to make it for the Champions League next year. They are going to be like the kids who don't get let out, who are grounded and have to watch from the window, nearby window, whilst the other kids are having fun, because that's exactly what's going to happen to Al Nassr players next year, and then also Al Nassr fans. They're going to be watching some of their biggest rivals in the Saudi Pro League go out there and have incredible joy as well. So yeah, guys, I'm your man, the gentleman. This is the Saudi PL Central. We bring you live watch-alongs every single week of the Saudi Pro League. This week we covered on Thursday match watch-along between Al Rayed and Ittihad. Ittihad, who went on to win 3-1 in that game and essentially clinched the title themselves. And then today, guys, we were watching the game between Al Nassr, who were at home, against Al Taawoun. And I think anybody who knows anything about football would have most likely put everything on Al Nassr to come out victors and victorious in this game, but it wasn't meant to be, because also anybody that knows anything about football understands that these kind of things happen, and there's no guarantees of winners and losers. You just got to go out there and give it your all. But yeah, we cover games like this, and we did cover this game today. So please do me a massive favor. We are on the road to 50. At the moment, we have 49 subs, and we're trying to get to 50. If I get to 50, or if we get to 50, I can start recording or start, creating the content and going live on my phone, which the camera quality is night and day between the camera on my laptop and the camera on the phone. So yeah, and we can also try to bring you player interviews and manager interviews and all sorts. So please do me a favor, subscribe. Yeah, until next time, Habibi, thank you for watching. Ciao. Take care. Bye bye.